Be me, 38 years old. Career woman, always prided myself on being the one who made it. Never needed validation, never needed anyone to complete me. Built everything myself brick by brick. Tonight something feels different though. Scrolling through social media and seeing another former classmate announcing her third kid. Used to roll my eyes at these posts. Used to think how boring, how conventional, how trapped. But tonight my chest feels tight. Start thinking about how I spent my 20s. Worked 80-hour weeks, moved cities 3 times for promotions, always said relationships would happen when the time was right. The time was never right. Dated, but never seriously. Never let anyone get too close because I had goals. I remember telling my mom at 24 that marriage was a patriarchal institution, and I was focused on building myself. She got this sad look, but I thought she just didn't understand modern women. Spent my early 30s the same way. More promotions, more moves, more networking events. Had some relationships, but they always ended because I wouldn't compromise my trajectory. Remember Jake, who wanted to move in together when I was 32. I said no because I valued my independence and my space. He married someone else within 2 years and now has twin daughters. Told myself I dodged a bullet. Told myself I chose freedom. Sitting here now, looking around at my expensive furniture that no one else ever sits on. Kitchen with high-end appliances I barely use because I eat out or order in most nights. Spare bedroom that's just storage and a Peloton. Check my dating apps out of habit. Same faces, same conversations going nowhere. Men my age want younger women or come with so much baggage. Younger men just want casual, which I tell myself is fine. I'm not looking for serious anyway. Except maybe I am now, and I don't know when that shifted. Remember all the articles I read, all the social media posts I shared, all the conversations with friends about not settling. We used to meet for wine and talk about how we didn't need men, how we were complete on our own. Most of those friends are married now or in serious relationships. The group chat has gotten quieter over the years. They talk about different things now, things I can't relate to. School districts and sleep schedules and family vacations. I contribute sometimes, but my stories about work projects or solo trips feel hollow in comparison. Tonight, I'm really feeling it, this weight in my chest that won't go away. Start thinking about my body, about biology, about things I dismissed as social constructs. My doctor mentioned egg freezing 2 years ago, and I laughed it off. Said I wasn't sure I even wanted kids. Said there was plenty of time. She didn't push, but I could see her professional mask slip for just a second. Now I'm thinking about that conversation differently. Start doing math in my head about fertility statistics, about risks after 35, after 40, things I deliberately didn't research before, because it felt like fear-mongering. Remember writing a blog post at 29 about how women shouldn't be pressured by biological clocks. Got hundreds of shares, felt so validated, so right, so enlightened. Where are all those women who shared it now? Go back and look at their profiles. Most have kids, most have partners, most stopped posting those kinds of things years ago. Feel something cold spreading through my stomach. Think about my career, my beautiful career that I sacrificed everything for. I'm good at what I do, respected, well compensated, but there are younger people coming up who are just as good, just as hungry, and they have energy I'm starting to lack. Had a performance review last month where my boss, who's younger than me, suggested I might want to consider work-life balance, said it like he was doing me a favor. I have no life to balance work with. Work is the life. Start thinking about all the messaging I absorbed over the years. Rom-coms are propaganda, marriage is oppression, children are a choice, not a requirement. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. You don't need anyone to be complete. The future is female. Stay in your power. Build your empire. I believed it all so completely, structured every decision around these principles, turned down job opportunities that would have kept me in one place longer, ended relationships because they wanted more commitment than I was willing to give, postponed thinking about family because there was always something more important to achieve first. Next promotion, next certification, next level of independence. The goalposts kept moving and I kept chasing them. Now, I'm sitting here with all this independence and it feels like a cage. My phone barely rings anymore. Most texts are work-related or promotional. Weekends are quiet, sometimes too quiet. I tell myself I like the peace, but tonight I can't make myself believe it. Think about my parents who've been married 42 years. Used to pity my mom for centering her life around dad and us kids. Thought she wasted her potential, limited herself, bought into old-fashioned ideas. But she seems happy, in a way I'm not. She has grandchildren from my brother, has a partner who knows her completely, has a full house on holidays. What do I have? Awards in a box, LinkedIn endorsements, a retirement account, things that matter but don't keep you warm at night. Start spiraling, thinking about every choice I made differently. What if I had stayed in my hometown instead of moving for that first big promotion? What if I had said yes when Marcus proposed at 30? I said no because I wasn't ready, because marriage felt like giving up part of myself. He was kind and stable and loved me. I chose my career trajectory over him and felt empowered doing it. He has a family now. Looks genuinely happy in his photos. Wonder if I would be happy too if I had chosen differently. But I wasn't choosing for myself. I realize now. I was choosing based on what I had been taught to value. Achievement over connection, independence over partnership, career over family. Not that these are inherently wrong choices, but I never questioned if they were my choices. I just absorbed the narrative and ran with it. Ran myself right into this expensive, empty apartment. Start really examining where all these ideas came from. The movies and shows I watched growing up that shifted in messaging. The magazines and websites I read religiously. The influencers and thought leaders I followed. All saying the same things in slightly different ways. You don't need a man. Build yourself first. Your career is your baby. Stay independent. And I'm thinking now about who benefits from women like me making these choices. Who benefits from educated women postponing families and relationships indefinitely? Who benefits from us pouring our energy into corporate careers instead of building families? Corporations benefit from ambitious employees with no competing priorities. Dating apps benefit from people staying single longer. The entire consumer economy benefits from independent single people who spend more. I always thought I was being subversive, going against tradition, empowering myself. But what if I was actually serving a system that wanted exactly this outcome? What if the real rebellion would have been choosing family and connection? What if independence was sold to me as empowerment but was actually isolation? Feel physically sick thinking about this. Remember all the times I argued with my mom about these exact topics. She tried to tell me gently that building a career was great, but don't forget about other things. I dismissed her as old-fashioned, as brainwashed by patriarchy, as unable to understand modern life. She was trying to warn me, and I was too ideologically captured to listen. Think about the men I rejected or pushed away over the years. Most weren't bad. Guys, most just wanted commitment I wasn't willing to give. I was always waiting for perfect, for someone who wouldn't infringe on my independence at all. Someone who didn't exist because relationships require compromise by definition. But I had been taught that compromise was weakness, that needing someone was failure, that building a life with another person was somehow less than building a life alone. How did I believe this? How did I organize my entire existence around this framework? Start reading articles with new eyes, articles I would have shared approvingly just months ago. See the patterns now, the way they subtly discourage commitment and family, the way they frame every traditional choice as oppression, the way they celebrate being alone as freedom. It's everywhere once you start looking for it. It's in the advertising, in the entertainment, in the social media algorithms, all pushing the same message to women exactly like me. Delay, delay, delay. Focus on yourself. You have time. You don't need anyone. And now I don't have time. Now my eggs are old and my dating pool is shallow and my social connections are weak. Now I'm looking at potentially being alone for the rest of my life. Not because I chose it from a place of genuine preference, but because I was guided into it by messaging I never questioned. Feel anger rising. Feel betrayed. Feel stupid. Spent my whole adult life thinking I was so smart, so aware, so enlightened. Meanwhile, I was following a script that led me exactly here. Isolated, childless, alone, during the years when I could have built something different. My fertile years are gone, just gone, wasted on conference calls and performance reviews. My relationship forming years spent on casual dating and protecting my independence. And for what? For an apartment no one visits, and a career that will replace me the moment I'm gone. Think about the women who sold me this narrative. The authors and journalists and influencers who promoted this lifestyle. And start looking them up, really looking at their lives. So many of them ended up in the same place, alone in their 40s and 50s. Or they partnered late and struggled with fertility and write about it like it's a surprise. Or they managed to have it all, but only because of resources most women don't have. Nannies and egg freezing and surrogates and perfect timing that can't be replicated. But they sold the narrative to millions of regular women like it was achievable for everyone. Like biology and timing and human connection didn't matter. Like we could just opt out of thousands of years of human pair bonding and reproduction. And there would be no consequences, no trade-offs, no prices to pay. I paid the price, and I didn't even know I was paying it. Thought I was investing in myself, but I was divesting from everything that actually matters. Career success feels meaningless tonight. Money feels meaningless when you have no one to share it with or leave it to. Independence feels like punishment, not freedom. Look at my reflection in the darkened window. Still look good for my age, take care of myself, but I can see it now. The time that's passed, the youth that's gone, the options that have narrowed. Men my age want women in their 20s and early 30s. Men who would date me are divorced with kids and complicated lives. Or they're perpetual bachelors who never wanted commitment anyway. Or they're desperate in ways that make me uncomfortable. The good ones, the ones who wanted families and partnership, they married younger women years ago. They're not available anymore, and won't be again. I'm competing in a market where my value has depreciated, while I was busy thinking I was appreciating another lie. That women age like wine while men age like milk. Turned out to be exactly backwards in terms of relationship marketplace. Men gain value as they establish themselves. Women lose it as they age. Basic biology and sociology that I dismissed as sexist when it's just reality. Reality doesn't care about my ideology. Reality has ticking clocks and closing windows. And I ran out the clock thinking I was playing a completely different game. Feel tears starting, hot and angry and full of grief, grieving for the life I could have had if I had been told the truth. If someone had said, yes, you can have a career, but don't sacrifice everything else for it. If someone had said your fertility window is real and shorter than you think. If someone had said connection and family might actually make you happier than achievement. But no one said those things. Or when they did, I dismissed them. Dismissed them because I had been trained to dismiss them as oppressive narratives. Trained to see any suggestion that women might want traditional things as an attack on my freedom. My freedom to what? Be alone and childless in my late 30s. Some freedom. Think about my Sunday mornings. Sleeping late because I have no reason to wake up. Leisurely coffee and scrolling through other people's lives. Maybe yoga or a workout. Maybe brunch with whatever friends are available, which is fewer and fewer as they have family obligations. Used to feel superior about my unscheduled weekends. Now they feel empty, infinite time with no meaning. Contrast that with my brother's chaotic mornings. Kids everywhere, noise and mess and exhaustion, but also laughter and purpose and love. He's building people, raising the next generation, creating a legacy. I'm building quarterly reports that no one will remember in 5 years. The corporation I serve will outlive me and won't mourn me. My retirement party will be awkward and sparse. I'll have no family to care for me when I'm old. Die alone in a nursing home where staff rotate too frequently to know my name. This is the future I built with all my empowered choices. Start thinking about the men behind all this messaging, because there were men, had to be, at the top of media companies and advertising agencies. Men who benefited from a generation of women removing themselves from the marriage and family market, leaving more options available for them personally, while also creating a workforce of women with no competing priorities. It's brilliant, really, in an evil way. Convince women that not needing men is empowerment, while men continue to build families with younger women who didn't get as captured by the ideology. I played right into it, we all did. A whole generation of educated women convinced that marriage was oppression and motherhood was a trap, while men quietly continued to prioritize both when it suited them. And we called it progress, called ourselves enlightened, called anyone who disagreed regressive. The call was coming from inside the house the whole time. We were agents of our own marginalization and thought we were freedom fighters. Think about all the time I spent on my career. Late nights, weekends, always available, always grinding, made my bosses rich while my personal life withered. They loved employees like me, no family to rush home to, no kids to pick up. Could always count on me to take the late meetings, the last-minute travel, the extra projects. I was the ideal employee because I had nothing else, and I thought that made me valuable, made me important. But I was just useful, disposable, replaceable, already training my eventual replacement and don't even realize it. She's 28 and hungry and thinks she's going to have it all. I was her 10 years ago and look where it got me. Want to warn her, but what would I say? That everything we're told is a lie designed to extract maximum value from our youth, while leaving us alone and purposeless once we're no longer as useful. She wouldn't listen anyway. I wouldn't have listened. Too invested in the narrative, too sure of myself, too convinced I was different. We all think we're different until we're not. Until we're sitting alone at 38, realizing the game was rigged from the start. Check my dating apps again, swipe through the options. Men with dead fish, men in group photos, men who can't spell, men who want hookups, men who are legally separated, men with face tattoos. This is what's available to me now, in the age range I find attractive. The attractive, successful men my age have 25-year-old girlfriends. Saw my ex from 5 years ago recently. He's engaged to a woman who's 29. He's 41 and looks happier than I ever saw him. She'll give him kids, give him the family. I said I wasn't sure I wanted. I was sure I wanted my career, though, sure about that. And now I have it, and it's not enough, nowhere near enough. Think about my friends who partnered earlier, who had kids in their late 20s and early 30s. I pitied them at the time, thought they were settling, limiting themselves. They have rich lives full of meaning and connection. They're tired and stressed sometimes, but they're not empty. They're not sitting, alone on a Friday night questioning every major life decision. They built something that matters, something that will outlive them. I built a LinkedIn profile and a 401k. Feel the full weight of it now, the enormity of what I've lost. Not just time, but the best time, the prime time, the time that doesn't come back. My 20s, when I was most attractive and had the most options. My early 30s, when I could have still had kids relatively easily. All of it gone, spent on goals that someone else set for me. Goals disguised as empowerment, but were really just economic optimization. Optimize women for work, keep them single and childless, extract maximum productivity, then discard them when they finally realize what they've lost. No safety net, no family, no purpose beyond consumption. It's diabolic, and it worked perfectly on me. I'm the success story of this social engineering. Climbed the ladder, stayed independent, didn't need anyone, and now I'm alone at the top of a ladder that leads nowhere. Think about having kids now, about the complications and risks after 35. Even if I found someone tomorrow, which I won't, it would take time. Time to date, time to build relationship, time to get engaged and married. By then I'm 40, maybe 41. High-risk pregnancy, if I can even conceive naturally. Might need IVF, might need donor eggs, might not be possible at all. The family I maybe could have had is likely just not an option anymore. And I didn't choose this exactly, I was guided into it. Guided by 1,000 subtle messages over 20 years. Messages that all pointed me away from family and toward career, away from partnership and toward independence, away from community and toward individualism. And I followed them right off a cliff. Wonder how many women are sitting in apartments just like this tonight, having the same realization. Probably thousands, probably tens of thousands. All of us believing we were making empowered choices. All of us ending up alone during a pandemic, during our late 30s, during our decline. All of us realizing too late that we were played. played by corporations that wanted our labor, played by men who wanted us out of the marriage market, played by a culture that profits from our isolation. And we can't even talk about it without being attacked. Can't question the narrative without being called a traitor to feminism. The ideology has its own immune system, attacks anyone who starts to see through it. That's how you know it's not about liberation, it's about control. Real freedom includes the freedom to choose traditional paths without judgment, but that's not what we were sold. We were sold a very specific vision of empowerment that served everyone but us, and now I'm sitting with the consequences. Consequences that are permanent, that can't be undone. Can't get my 20s back, can't reverse my age, can't restore my fertility, can't rebuild the relationships I sabotaged or the opportunities I missed. This is it. This is my life. The one I built following a blueprint designed to fail. Feel destroyed in a way I've never felt before. Not sad exactly, beyond sad. Something deeper, something existential. The ground under my entire adult life has dissolved. Every assumption I built on was wrong. Every choice I made was based on lies I believed completely. And there's no fixing it, no going back, no second chances. I'm 38 and alone, and likely to stay that way. My childbearing years are essentially over. My relationship-forming years are long past. I'm in the aftermath of a war I didn't know I was fighting, and I lost because I was fighting for the wrong side, fighting against my own interests while thinking I was fighting for them. The strong, independent woman who doesn't need anyone. Turns out she needs someone desperately, but it's too late. She spent her fertile years proving she didn't need anyone, and now she's infertile and alone, and the irony is suffocating. Sit in my minimalist apartment that suddenly feels like a tomb, a monument to choices I thought were mine but weren't really, a museum of a life unlived in favor of career achievements no one will remember. And I can't even be angry at anyone specific. Can't blame my parents, who let me make my own choices. Can't blame the men I pushed away, who just wanted to love me. Can't blame my friends who were also captured by the same narrative. Can only blame the ideology itself, the pervasive messaging, the cultural engineering. But that's too abstract to really process. Too big to conceptualize. Just know that I believed a lie, and it destroyed me beyond repair. Destroyed my chance at family, at partnership, at the meaning that comes from building something bigger than yourself. I'm a case study in successful social manipulation. I've got exactly the outcome someone designed the system to produce. Educated, productive, childless, alone, no legacy, no family, no deep connections, just work, and consumption until I die forgotten. This is what I chose when I chose independence above all else. Except I didn't really choose it. I was systematically guided toward it. Guided by everything from sitcoms to self-help books to social media, all telling me the same story about what empowered modern women do. And modern empowered women end up here, apparently, crying alone on a Friday night, realizing their entire adult life was a waste, realizing they optimized for all the wrong things, realizing the narrative was rigged, and they fell for it completely. And the worst part is, I can't even warn others effectively. The ideology is still too strong, still too pervasive. Younger women still believe it like I did, still think they're different, still think they have time, still think career comes first, and they'll end up right here in 15 years, having the same terrible realization. The cycle continues, the system perpetuates itself. We're all just raw material for an economic machine that chews us up, spits us out alone and childless, having extracted everything useful. I see it now, but seeing it doesn't help. Can't unsee it, but can't undo it either. I just have to sit with this knowledge that I wasted my life on a lie, that my most valuable years are gone forever, that I'll likely die alone because I spent my youth avoiding exactly the connections that would prevent that. The strong, independent woman who doesn't need anyone. She's sitting in an expensive apartment she bought herself, surrounded by career achievements and designer furniture. Completely alone, no family, no children, no partner. Realizing she does need someone after all. Realizing she always did. Realizing she was lied to about the most important things in life, and it's too late to do anything about it. destroyed beyond repair. That's exactly what this is. My entire psychological framework has collapsed. My identity has disintegrated. Everything I believed about myself and my choices has been revealed as false. And there's nothing to replace it with because the time for alternatives has passed. Just have to exist in this rubble of a life I thought I was building correctly. Exist alone with the knowledge that I was manipulated into this outcome, deliberately, systematically, completely. And I fell for it because I thought I was too smart to be manipulated. Thought I was making empowered choices. Turns out the ultimate disempowerment is thinking you're empowered while serving someone else's agenda. That's what I did for 20 years, and now I'm here. Sitting in the dark, looking at my reflection, seeing the wreckage destroyed.